Practice 7. Let's talk about the lie of significance. Another word for significance in our journey is ambition. The lie that we need to matter, that we don't live from the place that because of who we are, because of who God is, because of what he did for us, we already matter. So in the garden, we see the lie of significance at play because Eve, she was tempted with the apple because it promised her more knowledge. If maybe I had this, then I would be important. Like the devil tempts her, eat this apple, you're going to have access. You're going to know what God knows. And so we see at play right away is the desire to be significant. And here's the promise of God. The good news is we are significant, not because of anything we do, not because of anything we know, not because of anything we're going to do in the future, anything we're trying to do. We're significant because of what God has done. It's God in me. It's God's sacrifice for me. It's his love of me that makes me significant. I'm significant because he sent his son to die for me. He saw me as significant. I was significant enough for that sacrifice. And so I get to live from this significance, and then I don't have to live for the significance outside of me. And so what you're going to do in this space is really, you're going to learn to recognize the lies of significance, security, and belonging. And one thing that I want to tell you is these lies, like they are so overlapping, and that sometimes it's hard to define exactly what it is. Is this significance? Is this security? Is this belonging? Maybe a little bit of all of them. It may just be one of them and be like a red flashing light, like, oh yeah, this is definitely the lie of significance at play in my life. And so what you don't need to do is get tangled up trying to narrow it down all of the time and know exactly what it is. What you need to just understand is these are just helpful tools. These are helpful words to help guide you to discern what it is that God has already given you that you're spending your time looking for. So like, let me give you an example. If I saw significance in what I was accomplishing, then I would need to write my next book in order to feel good about who I am, in order to feel important, in order to feel valued. I would also need you to read my next book, and I would need you to praise, and I would need your approval, and I would need your praise and your feedback that would be good, that would affirm, Kristen, you're significant, you're important, you made it, you're making a difference in the kingdom. And so I'm doing something in order to get something. Now, the abundance mindset of the gospel means I actually already have everything that I need. Like, I am fully significant. And so I don't need to live for something because I already have that something. Therefore, I'm free. I don't have to live for something. I'm free. I'm free to write. I'm free to teach. I'm free to guide. I'm free to do whatever it is that God lays on my heart to do from a place of significance. Therefore, the work that I'm doing it's not affirming who I am or how much value I hold. It's kind of like the overflow. Like, I'm already confident and secure in my significance. And so from that place, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Now, this is interesting in relationships because sometimes significance and security and belonging plays out in relationships, and it's not like individual things like writing a book. And so when I'm significant in my connections, in my relationships, and I don't need you to make me feel good about my significance, then I'm going to be free to just be connected to you. I don't actually need something from you. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't have a responsibility to affirm and engage in conversations that reminds us of who we are as a friend. Sometimes we do get to speak those truths into life of our people, but we don't have to, and our people don't need us to, and they're not going to be doing things in order to figure out, am I significant to this person? Do I matter to this person? Because at the end of the day, friendships and connections and relationships, they're really the icing on the cake. They're just overflow. Like, I am significant. And so the people that are in my life that make me feel significant, I don't need them to make me feel that way. When they do, it's not wrong. Like, it feels good when people affirm the significance that you already have established. But when they don't, I'm not running dry. When they don't, I'm not panicking. When they don't, I'm not going looking and searching for significance by trying to do stuff that gets their attention, by trying to win their approval, by just planning and preparing and performing all of the things. And so when you live from significance, you're free, and the world doesn't tempt you to prove that you are significant. And so here's what you're going to do. As you bring accountability, right? You bring somebody into what you're becoming aware of, and you start to dig into these lies. You're going to use some of these questions that you walk through in this chapter with. You're just going to use some of these questions to dig. Like, where am I looking for significance? How might I be doing that? Where do I find my significance? Do I find it in parenting? Do I find it in my marriage? Do I find it in my calling? Do I find it in my job? Am I trying to climb a ladder so that I can get to the top, so that I finally feel like I'm significant, like I've reached it, like I know something, like I have something to offer? Just begin to ask yourself some questions in this. And what happens is sometimes when we begin to ask these questions, we actually have a Kairos moment where we realize, oh, the Lord is trying to teach and show me something that I've not even recognized until now. Good news is we're in accountability. So we're in space with safe people who can help us dig into the whys behind why we are looking for what we're looking for.